everyone. June 15th, 2020. Shakespeare Sonnet 84. Part of the Rival Poet series with the interruptions of the climactic numbered ones. This one's pretty interesting. I want to read a few things that I have posted up on my computer here. That this is Shakespeare talking about art for art's sake, art for technical sake, or art from the beauty of the soul. Which one is more important? And he falls into the beauty of the soul, that if you really don't find the subject you're writing about, painting about, writing music about, discussing, to be truly beautiful, then you might create a technical work, a flattering work, but it won't be an honest work. And I quite like that interpretation. As people go to break down the quatrains of this, there's some that are confused about the first four lines. Let me read one sentence verbatim. The best that can be done for the first quatrain is to try to retain in suspension in one's mind some of the most likely readings and then proceed from there. And what they're referring to is all the interpretations of this. One of the interpretations that I have is the first quatrain is a two-pronged question, that the questions that Shakespeare literally asks are the ones that you should be asking. And that is, when I read them, you'll see what the questions are. That the seeds for growth in art must be equaled by a growth in person. I like that particular take. The second quatrain goes off and talks about the poor writer, which Shakespeare is obviously inferring his rival writers are just poor writers because, well, they may be technically good. They don't glorify the soul. They don't write from the soul. And the third quatrain talks about what the soul is, or what Shakespeare says it is. And Shakespeare does talk a lot about that his writing may be plainer than others and less filled with modifiers, but it's more full of soul and accuracy because it comes from a place of love and truth. And then the final couplet is about ego, which is kind of ironic because Shakespeare's ego is immense, even just from his writings. But you can be inebriated on your own ego equally. The source of your writing, in this case the fair youth, who he's chastising just a little bit, can be very inebriated by writings about them. We all get drunk with flattery when someone talks to us and says good things about us. Happy birthday, I'm gonna be 52 this Friday. They might say, hey, you're looking great. Look at this face. It's looking old. You know, the gray hair. I know they're lying, but the flattery feels good. If you have time in your life, listen to the Happiness Lab podcast where they talk about things like that. And today's or yesterday's was about purchasing stuff, buying stuff to feel better, how that dissipates really quickly, and then we want to buy something else, and we keep compounding this. It's the same mentality with flattery. Once we get it, we want more. This thing works pretty interesting, doesn't it? And that's why they say buying experiences is better, because it doesn't go here as much as here. Now, I'm not a spiritual person, but I see what that does. It fulfills you in a way that just satisfying those dopamine results doesn't. And I don't think, I'm pretty sure that Shakespeare didn't have that level of research and scientific intuitiveness in his time. But it's amazing what our brain can get to. So here's 84. Who is it that says most, which can say more than this rich praise that you alone are you, and whose confine immured is the store which should example where your equal grew? Let penury within that pen doth dwell, that to his subject lends not some small glory, but he that writes of you, if he can tell that you are you, so dignifies his story. Let him but copy what in you is writ, not making worse what nature made so clear, and such a counterpart shall fame his wit, making his style admired everywhere. You to your beauteous blessings add a curse, being fond on praise, which makes your praises worse. Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow.